President Zelenskyy, you came here wanting a time frame for membership. You'll be leaving with warm words as well as more weapons and new security guarantees. Have the Allies done enough to show their support, or do you still think that their position on Ukraine joining NATO is absurd? And most crucially, might this lack of an invitation undermine the morale of your forces fighting right now on the front line? And Mr. Secretary-General, the Kremlin has just said it's a dangerous mistake for the West to give security guarantees to Ukraine. Are you worried that the Allies are taking a step closer towards direct war with Russia?
Thank you for the question. As for the invitation, I truly understand that this is a technical signal, but if we're not only dealing with techniques and bureaucracy, but should we look at that as a serious factor to contribute the motivation to the Ukrainian society, then for me, as a president, that was an important moment. I kind of compared this fact with the candidacy for the membership in the European Union and with the dialogue with other countries. I give the following example. I told that EU candidacy was just this signal. The candidacy means no membership, but it brings a significant mobilization for Ukraine and a powerful signal for Russia that Ukraine is not a member of any type of alliance, but Ukraine is willing to become a member of the European Union and will be an independent state. As for the invitation to NATO, this is just the same. It's a signal. But today, I can see another important signal that I've already mentioned, and we can have some specifics about this. The specifics now, if today the G7 will agree to the first declaration on security guarantees, that would be a very specific fact, because the security guarantees says that these guarantees will be valid on our way to NATO. This is very important. This is going to be a very specific signal. As for the rest of the points, the Secretary General has already mentioned as referred to alliance. Thank you.
There is a full-fledged war going on in Europe, and there is no risk-free option, for NATO allies either. But the biggest risk is if President Putin wins, because then the message is that when he uses military force, when he violates international law, when he invades a neighbor, then he gets what he wants. And that's exactly why it is so important for NATO allies to support Ukraine. Because it will be a tragedy for Ukraine if President Putin wins, but it will be dangerous for us. It will make us more vulnerable. And that's also the reason why we have been so very clear on the following, that Ukraine, of course, has the right to choose its own path and what kind of security arrangements it wants to be part of. That's the first line in the paragraph we agree today on membership for Ukraine and the path forward. And this is a fundamental right for every nation, and therefore we can never allow that Moscow starts to decide who can or who cannot be a member of NATO. Russia has been against every enlargement of NATO. It's for NATO allies and for Ukraine to decide when to become a member. Moscow doesn't have a veto on that. So we are moving Ukraine closer to membership. We make all the decisions today, which is the strongest, the most united message on the path towards membership NATO has ever issued to Ukraine. And of course, you do that knowing that Moscow will protest, as they did when Finland joined, or when Sweden is joining, or North Macedonia, or all new allies. So Ukraine has the right to choose some path. Allies will decide. It's not for Moscow to decide.
Just to add one sentence to the words of Secretary General, that what is very important about the Council, that it's not instrument of participation that is written there, that is the instrument of integration. And that's also give us such spirit that will be in NATO.